Hi, this is Greg with Lionquestfitness. What is this mysterious 357 ammo I'm talking about? Well, back when Walmart a few years back was getting rid of all their ammo, it was coming out of a warehouse, I believe the lady told me, from Alabama, and she said, as soon as we get it all cleared out, we won't be selling handgun ammo anymore. Well, I bought a lot of ammo during that time, especially 38 and 357, and I bought this box of 125 grain 357 that said 1875 feet per second. Well, at the time I took it for granted it was 1450 feet per second, like all the other boxes of Remington 357 semi-jacketed hollow point ammo I had bought. However, when I took it out to the range and we were shooting a 605 Taurus snubby, and it was like, this ammo is awfully hot to be shooting out of this snubby. I said, let's take another look at that box. And that's when I saw that it said 1875. So let's talk about what this ammo really is. Well, one thing I can tell you what it's not, and that's what I initially assumed, that it was carbine ammo. This is why. First off, nowhere on the box does it say carbine. It says revolver. All right. Second, because of that soft lead nose, I can't load it in the loading gate of my two Rossi rifles, lever action rifles. I was able to chronograph, but I had to load them in through the breech. Now that also brought up an interesting thing. I was able to get two readings with the chronograph. One was 2,163 feet per second. The other one was 2,123 feet per second. A little bit higher speed or velocity than 1875 feet per second. So how did I chronograph it? Well, I used this Magneto Speed V3, and this is not really made for lever action rifles or revolvers. This is more for your modern rifles and pistols. You have this bayonet that you attach to the end, and you've got spacers. Now, I was able, out of 4 rounds I fired, I was able to get 2 out of the lever action rifle, but I feel like I was not able to get it on there tight enough to really secure it properly. Now, with the revolver, I used this Taurus 66. This is an older one. It's an old workhorse, in fact. But I don't believe I was able to get it tight enough around the barrel. I couldn't. I shot 4 rounds, and I couldn't get a reading. So I'm going to have to find a different type of chronograph to be able to find out the velocity with a 4-inch handgun. Now, one thing I do want to say, I would not shoot this round through any of my other 357 revolvers except maybe my Henry Big Boy revolver, which I have shot a couple out of it. In fact, this one, I wouldn't want to shoot many because this is a very hot round. So my next step was to contact Remington. At Remington, I was able to correspond with a very nice lady, very helpful lady by the name of Sandra Strickland. And she found out that this ammo was made in August of 2016. But she could not find any record of them ever making a round like this in a 1875 velocity. She said they were all, even back then, they were all 1,450 feet per second. She seemed to think that it was a misprint, but, you know, that's very clear. That's not like you had a smudge or a double strike where a 1450 was turned into 1875. That's very deliberate. Could have been a human error, very possibly. But surely there may have been more boxes that went out like this, if that is so. So anyway, If the mystery still remains, and if you can give me any concrete information, not supposition or what you think, but something that you may know that might help clear this up, please pass that on. And this is Greg with Lionquest Fitness.